Welcome to the PAX, the Capital Podcast, where we talk about wealth, business, mindset, and other tips and resources that can help you grow in all areas of your life. I'm your host, Preston Kyles. Today, we're going to be talking about the value and the power of networking. So since I've been a young kid, everyone's always told me that I had a trait that I can be friends with anybody and everybody. And as I grew older, I began to understand that. And the power of networking and becoming friends with a lot of different people is you never know what situations you're going to end up in. And so, like I said, it started from me being a kid at a young age. I was just very friendly with anyone. Anyone that walked up to me, you could be my homie. Even if I didn't know you from whatever, I just knew that being good to people always came out. You always came out being on top if you were a good person to other people. That's what my mom had always taught me. And so once I learned that, it like really took over my entire life. And I would say right around 2015, so right when I graduated from high school, I was on Facebook one day and got a friend request from this person. And long story short, they messaged me asking if I had ever thought about like owning my own business or being in business. And previous to that, I sold candy in high school, candy and gum in high school out of my locker. If any of my high school people are watching this, you know it to be true. And so I went into this business opportunity and I was like, well, I have no clue how to run an actual business. No one in my life has ever talked to me about being a business owner, but sure, like I'll come join this business. And if you guys don't know, it's called Primerica Financial Services. And so I won't get into the company and all that, but the value of networking it really started with Primerica. So in Primerica, I was hanging around millionaires and people who were making 500,000 a year, 100,000 a year, all from a business, not from a job, no 9 to 5, a business. And what this taught me was that if I ever wanted to become a millionaire or just become wealthy in general, I had to do things differently. I couldn't be normal. I had to think outside of the box. And if I would have never been around these millionaires or these people who had this kind of money, this kind of wealth, excuse me, I don't think I ever would have been to the places that I've been or seen the things that I've seen if I didn't get around these people and see what they were doing and how they worked and how they did everything that they did to get everything that they have now. And so Primerica really opened my eyes to that. And my mentors at the time were Teresa Taylor and Daryl Taylor, and they made a lot of money, but it wasn't about the money. It was about the network and how they could help people. That the money that they did have, how they could give it back to others to help others to grow themselves. And that really showed me that when you network and you surround yourself with people like that and build endless relationships, endless opportunities, things are going to be attracted to you. Money's going to come to you in ways you never saw it, but you just stayed working. And with networking, I love it so much because, like I said, when you network with someone, you never know where that relationship could take you. It could be a simple conversation, or it could be a conversation that changed your life. So if you guys know Team Dream Chasers Basketball Academy, this started because I was networking with people. It didn't start because whatever reason that I had. No, it started because I was networking with people, and I love basketball. And through basketball, you get to network with people too, playing basketball with a whole bunch of different people, playing pickup games, 1-on-1, 5-on-5, going to the rec, whatever the case may be is. You're networking with a lot of people. And so outside of that, what it taught me, the main thing that networking taught me was, and I'll keep saying it over and over again, you never know where the relationship is going to take you. And it led to the point where I was an AAU coach. Now I run an AAU. I'm a director of an AAU program. I run my own basketball business. I am a college basketball coach. And on top of that, I have my own podcast that I'm able to talk about building business, building generational wealth, and things like that, all from the power of networking. Because let's face it, I've been at this podcast thing for almost 3 years, but I've never been serious about it. And when I first started, man, those episodes were terrible. I won't even lie to you. I don't know why I even published them. They were straight trash, you know, but I just wanted to get started and do something because I know that with a podcast, it's basically like networking for free in a sense, because someone's going to listen to your podcast episode. They're either going to get value or they're not going to get value. And the people that get value, they're going to want to network with you. They're going to want to talk to you. They're going to want to find out more about what you do, how you do things, whatever the case may be is. So networking was really key. And I was like, podcast is free networking. So like, it's a no-brainer. It makes the most sense. But I was never serious about it, like I said. And I didn't become really serious about it probably until I'd say last month. And the why last month? Because networking. I'm going to tell you about it. So there's this mastermind. We call it's the Todd Capital Mastermind. So it was created by Charles Oglesby. So if you guys don't know who Charles Oglesby is, you need to look him up. Charles is the GOAT. Shout out to my guy, Charles. Like, I wouldn't be here doing this if it wasn't for him. And here's the other thing. Charles is a millionaire, and he could be doing whatever he wants in his life because he has a massive amount of money. But instead, he's giving back to people. He's pouring into people that he doesn't even know like that. And he's giving them the opportunity to go places they've never been in their life. And this all started with me joining the mastermind group, and we started having accountability calls. So every Monday we have an accountability call. And another great podcaster himself, Andre Hatchett, he told me, he said, you know what, you should have a podcast, but you need to do it seriously. Don't do it if you're not going to be serious about it. And I was like, man, I've been at this podcast thing for like 3 years. I've posted a few, wasn't really like serious behind marketing it and publishing it. I was just kind of like, throw it out there and get started. But this time I came back full-fledged, full 100% committed because I've been networking with the right people. I surrounded myself with the right kinds of people. I now have access to millionaires that I never had access to in my entire life. I came from Chicago, Illinois, also was raised in Morris, Illinois. And where I came from, those areas, there weren't many millionaires around me. They weren't down the street or a phone call away. Like, I had no clue who those people were, you know? And I never talked to them, never knew anything about them because that wasn't talked about as commonly back then as it is now in my life. And so through the power of networking, like I said, I've been able to start my own basketball academy, be a director of another basketball academy, a college basketball coach, and on top of that, have my own podcasting platform. And there's a few other things that I do as well. But the main part of that is that when you network with other people and you build relationships with them, you don't know where those are going to go. Because when you build positive relationships with people, most people will be willing to give you their resources and their time to help you grow and to take your stuff to the next level. So, you build a relationship with someone based off whether it's coaching them or whatever the case may be is, that small little seed that we start planting and we just let it grow, keep adding value to the relationship as we network, and it gets bigger and bigger. And next thing you know, we're going to the next level. Maybe we're in business together. We're looking at business plans together. We're talking about other business ideas that we could do together, or what this person could do versus what that person can do with their capital, whatever the case may be is. But these conversations don't get started if you don't put yourself in the room with people who can help you with it. If you don't network, you're not going to get anywhere. Because think about it, as basic humans, we are not made to do life alone. And I don't care who tells you what or whatever excuse that they give you. We're not made to do life alone. I can 100% promise you that. Anyone who says that they're self-made, red flag. The movie Squid Games, red flag. Stay away from people who say they are self-made, because no one's self-made. Think about it. When someone started a business, they asked somebody else, what do you think about this idea? Somebody else bought that product. Somebody else created that product. Although they had the idea, somebody else brought it to life as well. They brought the idea to life themselves, but they had to get other people in the process with them. They didn't just build an entire Nike store in one day. It's not possible. You need a team. You need your laborers who are going to build the store, build the racks, all of that stuff. You need your people who are going to create the shoes, create the clothing, create the hangers, create the signs, the cash register, the managers. So you see how this works. It's not just one person. There may be one person making decisions and making the call of where we spend the money, but regardless of the fact, they still had a team that had to help them get to their idea, to paint their picture, bring it to life. So with life, you just got to network because you never know who you can talk to. I never would have thought that I would be talking to millionaires one day. And I used to be homeless with my family, sleeping in homeless shelters, slept in 3 different homeless shelters. And now I have networks that are way more powerful and way more worth a dollar sign. They're more powerful than anything. And I appreciate and respect all those people who gave me their time and decided to network with me because they saw my potential. Because that's the other side. People don't have to network with you. I don't have to be sitting here talking with these millionaires like Charles and Andre and all my other millionaire mentors that I know. They don't have to be wasting their time with me. I'm not a millionaire. They could be like, oh, you don't make $1 million a year? See your kid, don't talk to me. But instead, they're like, no, here's a rope. We're going to help you come up. We're going to help you become better. Get to where you want to go. What are your goals? Let's take you there. So networking is very key in your life. And I don't care who you are, what you do, you have to network in life somehow. You don't get to where you are by not talking to someone or opening a door or having a conversation. You don't get anywhere without one of those things. Networking is key. So the next time you're in a room and whatever you do, like if you're a basketball coach or you're a speaker or you have a specific skill, like you're an engineer, whatever the case may be, is if you're in a room full of other engineers or other speakers, basketball coaches, network with them, talk to them. You don't know where those relationships could be. Everyone is so used to it's me and me only, but we need to flip that. It needs to be we over me. It's not just you anymore. It's a community, a team. Everybody has a team. Once again, back to my Nike example. Nike has an entire team. Think about it. They have a marketing team. They have a tax team to handle all their taxes. They have a financial team that handle all their financials. So everybody has a team. So the question is, when you're out here networking, who's on your team? Who are you networking to put on your team? Is your roster full? Or is it always going to be open? Are you always just going to have an unlimited supply, lifetime supply of people that you can, one phone call, one text, one click, whatever the case may be, and say, hey, I need some help in this area. I know someone else who's in our current situation that needs some help. How can you help them? Networking is key. Networking can just bring you so many opportunities that you've never seen in your life. And you didn't even know they existed because you didn't know. But you don't know what you don't know. So start networking with people. Start talking to people. Open your mouth. Don't be scared to talk to people. At the worst, if people tell you, no, I don't want to network with you, or no, I don't want to talk to you, okay, there's billions of people on this earth. You're telling me because one person rejected you that you're going to just give up and say, I'm going to just do everything by myself. No, you got to keep going. When I was homeless, I was still talking to people. When I was in high school, I was always talking to people. I've been talking to people my entire life. I've been a friendly person because once again, I know that if I'm friendly and good and put out good energy into the world and I give it to someone else, someone's going to reciprocate that. Someone's going to give that back to me. And if person A doesn't give that back to me, person B will. And if person B doesn't, person A will. Same thing. So you can't get defeated because one person tells you no or you get rejected once. Like life's full of rejections. The only thing you need to stay focused on is networking. Who can I put in my circle to go to the next level? What room can I put myself in to take myself to the next level? That's how you got to start thinking about it. Because in all reality, life is all about doing things together. It is not about doing it by yourself. And I'll preach that to the day I die, because obviously as a basketball coach, you don't win a game with one player. There's 5 players on the court on defense and on offense. Those 5 players have to figure it out. They have to come together and be able to win the game as a unit. It's not just one player. Your point guard can't score all the points. They can't rebound. They can't get every single thing done. They have to have a team. That's why you have your guards, forwards, your centers. You have a team. So life is about having a team. So the question I want to ask you is, who's on your team? Who's in your circle? Who are you networking with? Take those things, ask yourself that, take a look at it. Am I networking with valuable people, or am I networking with people that they're not really going anywhere with their lives, or kind of that same circle every 5 years they experience the same thing? Definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. So take that little log, ask yourself those questions, and take yourself to the next level. And if you ever want to network with me, you guys know where to find me. All the links are in the show notes at all times. And also, make sure you check out Team Dream Chasers Basketball Academy, man. Greatest sponsorship of this podcast. And also, that Todd Capital Mastermind. If you want to join the mastermind and put yourself in a room with millionaires and other great people who have great networks, built businesses, have great relationships that they can help you with, that link will be in the show notes. So make sure you check that out as well. All right. So it's your boy, Preston Kyles, signing off.